Welcome to Family Unmuted, where Ruben and Tiana Estrada open the door to their lives as real estate brokers, owners of a family business, parents, and everything in between. This is our world, Unmuted. Hey guys, it's Family Unmuted, Season 2, Episode 7. We're rocking and rolling through the year. Can't believe this is our 7th episode. Technically 8th, because we did a recap, right?
Well, this is more
this
because
is 7th of this
season.
season.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So the word of the day is health, to keep in line with our growth focus for this season. How important is health to you guys as we drink Dr. Pepper?
Well, so there's health in all areas of your life, right?
Okay, I like this.
I mean,
Not just physical.
no, like, are you running, is your business healthy? Is your financial situation healthy? Are your relationships healthy? So I think health isn't just physical health and wellness kind of thing. But I will say that as I get older, I keep saying that in all these podcasts. Like, I don't know.
Well, we're not getting younger.
No,
so.
but as I mature, I realize that physical health has become the basis for health in all the other areas of my life. And that was kind of a big aha for me, because I kind of always downplayed the importance of the physical health and how it impacts the other areas of your life. So,
How do you know when it's healthy?
that's a good question.
What's
In anything.
in anything?
Yeah.
Well, I think in business, healthy is just looking at your finances. Profitability. Yep.
Impact.
I think there's always measurements. So in physical, you can your body mass, like how much fat do you have, how much energy do you have, how much do you weigh, all those things, blood pressure. I mean, when you go into the doctor, they do the same things, right? They take your temperature, they check your blood pressure, they check your weight and height, and those basically tell a lot of what's going on. So same thing with business. You're looking at your accounting, so your financial record, your balance sheet, all those things, expenses, profitability, and then I think physically too, it's just we always wait till we're not feeling good to go see a doctor or something, chiropractor, whatever it is, whatever ailment you're experiencing. So I think a lot of that tells you how healthy you are. What were the other things that you're saying? Business,
I think for me,
relationships.
Healthy equals better. And so if your habits or your routines or whatever it is that you're doing is contributing to making your relationships or your bank account or your business better, then I think that those are healthy things to be doing. I mean, if it's making you worse, then that's probably not good.
It's unhealthy.
Right. What does health mean to you, Zay?
I was wondering, are there certain areas where it's more important to focus on being healthy, or is it everything should be divided equally? To contribute like a total overall well-being.
Well, I think to go back to what I said, I think the physical health is kind of kickstarts. I think
everything.
it kickstarts everything, because you have to have the energy and the clarity and the stamina and all of those things to do what you need to do in the other areas of your life. So for me, I think physical health has moved to first place as far as trumping everything else.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's like the easiest thing to provide yourself, like mental clarity, to quickly provide yourself like mental clarity faster than anything.
Well, you're huge on health. So out of the four of us, like physical health, you're huge on physical health. Why is that so important to you?
I think because I just want to look. I just want to look good.
Okay.
So it's more of.
So you got a long way to go. It's like,
Oh my God.
I'm just joking.
It takes years.
It takes years. It does. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm not even close to where I want to be. Like, it just takes years, and you guys just enjoy the journey.
But you're realizing, like, because you have a very pretty strict diet here. Like, when we see you, we always tease you because we're like, oh, Zay has his banana, and Zay has his big water bottle, and Zay has his shake. So you are understanding the importance of fueling your body, then gives you energy to fuel it to do what you're trying to do, and then you take that out to business and everything else, right?
Yeah, and like you get used to it, and it's like just starting with the gym, like you get used to the gym, and now you can't go on with your day without it. Like that's what you look forward to, especially when you do it at the end of the day or in the morning or whatever.
Was it hard to start that transition from not going to the gym to then going into it?
Yes. Yeah. Because when you're super small in the gym or even super big in the gym, like it's definitely harder. It's way harder to. So you got a lot of. I get a lot of respect for those people over like the biggest guy in the gym. Even the biggest guy in the gym would think that. Like they have respect for those people that are like putting themselves out there. So it's definitely hard to start.
Like me when I go to the gym. I'm like, good for you, sir. You don't give a crap about what people think.
They respects you a lot.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Oh, no.
No, it is hard. I mean, when you're like, the lady next to you is, lifting more than you are. I mean, that's doesn't feel very good. So, or the older guy that's, 20 years older than you and he's in better shape than you are. It's hard to keep going, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So it messes with your psyche a little bit.
But there's something to be said about driving there. Like, we go to a gym, so getting there is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Or when I would work out at home, it's like putting on your workout gear and going downstairs is the hardest part. So once you get there, you've already
you don't really have an option.
Done.
Yeah, you're 80% there.
It's a win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a win.
And I think just like with everything else we've talked about, as far as we're on physical health right now, but physical health I think gets thrown to the wayside because people don't just take the small steps. Like, even if you drive to the gym and you walk on the treadmill for 15 minutes and then you go home, like, that's a win. And again, I think we try to overcomplicate it and think that we need this, at least for women, like we need this cute little outfit and the best shoes, and we have to have our workout playlist, and then we have to get our downloaded workouts from TikTok or wherever else, and then we can't do anything until that's done. And it's like, no, sometimes I go to the gym, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I'll just walk, and then I'll increase it, and then you just start going. So again, just simplicity. Starting simple gets you on the road.
Yeah, totally. Well, I think, just to recap, physical health is probably trumps everything, right? Because if you are unhealthy, I mean, you're on the path to dying, basically. And if you're not here, you can't accomplish, what you need to accomplish. So those are obvious things, right? So physical health, and then what?
My order?
Yeah.
Okay. So physical health, relationship health, financial health. Wait, hold on. Go back. I forgot one. Physical health, spiritual health, relationships, financial, business, I think would be like my 5.
Cool. So how do you stay healthy in those other areas?
So spiritually, going to church, reading, praying, listening, podcasts or different inspiring people. And then relationship wise, I think if anyone is listening to this and knows me very well, relationships are they're my jam. They are what is like so important to me. So I spend a lot of time being intentional about scheduling the coffees and the lunches and doing the birthdays and all the things and celebrating things and really trying to just pour into people as much as I can in a way that doesn't take away from obviously my most important relationships, my kids, you.
Thank you.
And then financially, it's education. I try to create healthier habits financially through education, whether that's reading or going to seminars or seeking out and having conversations with. I mean, we're blessed to have some really great people in our lives who that's what they do. They manage money and help you manage yours, and just really picking their brains and figuring out ways to make tweaks and things like that. And in business, it's pretty simple in our business. It's, did we help as many people as we could today? And that's my measurement for a healthy business.
Yeah, I think we become unhealthy when we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we want to get grounded or get back to the basics, it's all about who can we help today.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be the question. So,
and I think that's just a human need, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like during COVID or when we had the horrible Marshall fires, my instinct was just to, how can I help? Because when you don't know what to do, you can always help. There's always somebody, something you can do to help. And I think that's just human nature.
yeah, it doesn't cost anything.
No.
It just takes energy. But then again, that goes back to the physical thing of, first of all, you got to be clear, right? You got to have the mental clearness and the clarity that we talked about in our previous podcast to really distill it down to that basic thing, that basic question. And that basic question took us a lot of years to realize that's really all we need to do is that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What about you?
you guys,
As far as our order,
How would you rank your, prioritize the health areas in your life?
as what I want it or what it is right now?
both.
Both.
I'd say I'd want it probably in like the same order you have it. Because it just trickles down. Like it's really hard to have bad relationships in a good business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or a bad spiritual life and good relationships.
Yeah.
So like everything is like intertwined right there. I think, Dad has helped me with like my physical, getting me to the gym. Starting to get into that routine a little more, and it's a lot easier when you have someone to do it with. It's very hard to get to the gym just by yourself. It's so easy to talk yourself out of it, and that 45 minutes when you just wake up to get to the gym is the hardest part of the day.
It's like, oh, I
Well,
can
you have
go.
that
I
internal
can
dialogue.
go
I'll just
later.
I'll
Or
go
I'll
out to
go
lunch.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll go this evening. Oh,
Mhm.
it's really just one day. Maybe I'll go 3 times a week, not 5 times a week.
Yeah.
And you just start downplaying
Or I
it.
worked out yesterday and I'm too sore and am I damaging my body
Mhm.
if I go again? It's like all these things go into your head and it's like, that's just stupid talk.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's
And
stupid
so I
talk.
think the physical is like number one, because that not only creates a mental fortitude in the morning, it creates a habit and discipline that trickles down into all the rest.
Mhm.
And all those things that I just listed out is needed for a good, healthy environment.
Yeah.
What about diet?
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk
What
about
about
Well,
diet?
there's two
Has
schools
diet?
of thought.
Does that go
Here's the
into
thing.
physical?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surrounded by people who are like, I work out so that I can keep, eating how I eat or drink what I drink, which, okay, fair enough. There are some people who work out and have a strict dietary plan.
You have a strict
For-
dietary plan.
So not as strict.
Not really.
Yeah,
Like,
not
he'll
as
go
strict
eat
as I'd
Burger
like to
King.
be.
He'll go eat Burger
Okay,
King,
sometimes,
eat
but-
Cane's.
Hey, I'm taking a break from
He
games.
has a bag of chips in his backpack.
I know, but
There's
every
no
time I
chips,
text
no
him, he's
chips.
eating that chicken and rice. Like, every
True.
time.
Yeah.
Like, that's so
Baked
bland.
potato. Baked potato.
Baked potato.
That too. But
Rice.
it's more strict than my diet, at least.
But don't you guys feel, and maybe it's just me, but when I go and work out, it's like you leave and you're like, I feel really good. I don't want to put crap in my body. I'm gonna have a smoothie. I'm gonna have a salad. I'm gonna do this. Like, it makes you want to eat
healthy.
cleaner because you just did all that work. And then I am seriously to a point where, the other day we went to Sprouts for lunch and got a sandwich because I was like, I can't put fried food in my body right now. I just feel horrible. So I think that, again, that physical workout has so much to do with everything in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other thing we need to consider is our stress management.
Mm.
If we're not working out, that stress is staying in your body,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no release for it. So it just keeps getting piled on and piled on and piled on, and then before you know it, the littlest of things irritate you, and it's throwing you off track, and then you just get angry because you're off track and adds more stress, and it just snowballs
It's a vicious
into
cycle.
yeah, it just snowballs. So you need that release of
Yeah.
stress.
I think it's smart to Google just the mental benefits alone of just exercising. And
absolutely.
it just makes you feel way better going to the gym. Like, it's just, that's on your conscience.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to my point, like even if you go and walk 15 minutes, your day is going to be so different
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
just by that 15-minute walk. And you take it to like a way bigger level, which again, even more mental health benefits. But I agree with you, like the stress part of it.
Yeah.
Because for me, so last week, this happens to me a lot, but I think on Wednesday, was it?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Wednesday. I was like, I got out of bed and I'm like, oh, I don't feel very good.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that was not good.
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
I wasn't like a cold. It wasn't. I did not feel good, and I could not get off the couch all day long.
And you had this massive headache.
I had this
like,
massive headache,
stress
and
headache.
the base of my shoulders were just like a ball. And I think it was my body just being like, "Oh, pump the brakes. You need to stop." And it was eye-opening to me that I hadn't been putting enough emphasis on the physical piece of it for that to happen, because I feel like if I would have been sticking to my gym regimen and doing some of the other self-care things that I typically do, I probably could have handled what's going on in our lives right now better. But I just hit a wall, and I was just done. And so I think that, if you don't start small and commit to it, then it's not going to be a choice at some point.
And you'd gone a few days without working out too.
I had,
So-
yeah. So, Zay, how do you rate your areas of health in your life?
I think my top three are definitely the physical, the relationships, and then the financial. I think that's a good trinity there. I think I definitely rank physical number one, because I definitely prioritize the gym. Like, I try to fit that in my day, no matter like what the schedule is.
Yeah.
And then relationships definitely come second, because of Trinity, of course, and then my family.
Yeah.
And then financial. Like, financial will definitely help those other areas. So I think that's a good in thirds right there. Like, they all contribute very equally.
Cool.
What about you?
Yeah, I think health has definitely become a priority because I just did not have the energy. I didn't have the clarity. My stress management was out of whack. And I think as we got into our 40s, it became even more like you wake up and you're like, oh, that hurts. Oh, that doesn't feel very good.
Am I supposed to
And
take
I'm like,
ibuprofen every morning?
yeah. Yeah, so in my 20s and 30s, I felt like I could kind of defer that deferred maintenance. And as in my 20s, I was like, I have plenty of time to get healthy. I just need to focus on business right now, and I just need to do, I have other priorities that trump the physical aspect. But if I would have done it differently, I would have put more focus into the physical, and I felt like that probably would have given me more energy, which I could have been more productive. So I was working in the wrong order. And yeah, I mean, without your health, I mean, you only got one body, so you got to take care of it, right? And from a religious point of view, we're obligated to take care of our body that God gave us. So we need to do a better job of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to research, and we need to just on TikTok, you get so many different ways and so many different opinions on how to be healthy and all that stuff. But I think just getting back to the basics, try to eliminate processed food, drink more water, exercise at least 15 minutes a day, even if it's light. I think that goes a long way in just building a foundation. And then you start to get addicted to it because you start to see results. And it takes you a while. It could take you a week. It could take you a month before you start seeing those results. But once you start seeing the results, it's like, wow, I'm addicted. I become obsessed. So, and we go to Zay's point where if you don't go, it's a bad day. So I'm getting to that point where I'm working out. I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm working out more consistently, and I'm starting to see more clarity. Like I'm feeling better in the mornings. I have more energy. I'm not going to bed as early. I still get up, 4 or 5:30 in the
You
morning.
legit were going to bed at like 7 p.m.
I was, yes. I would just crash.
Everybody be like, where's Dad? Go to bed.
But I mean, it's starting to work, and it's starting to all come together, which makes me feel pretty good. And I'm getting stronger, and that's a good thing.
Mhm.
So
Could be the mushroom coffee.
tried it once. I'm not opposed to it. I just don't know if I can do it every day.
I'm
Does it
loving
taste
it.
bad?
It doesn't taste bad.
It tastes different. It's not bad. It's just different.
It tastes like coffee.
Sweeter
with
coffee.
Just like a slight earthiness, but it
Dirt.
tastes like no, it doesn't taste like dirt.
Because I tried that mushroom jerky, and that was
Mushroom jerky?
Mushroom
that was
jerky.
bad. No, I seen it on
That's
Shark Tank. I seen it on Shark Tank, and they were all saying it's just like meat. I'm like, that is not meat.
No, you'll have to.
Jerky?
You'll
Where do
have
you
to
even
try
get
the-
that?
I just bought it online, I think. After I saw
You
the
actually
Shark Tank
purposely
episode.
have to
Yeah.
go buy it.
Yeah, you have
They
to
said it
research
tastes
it.
just like meat, and I was like, there's no way.
No.
There's no way. And
It did it.
No way.
There was
Tastes
no
like
way.
mushroom. It's mushrooms.
See, this does not taste like mushrooms. It tastes different.
But you're
it
a
does
mushroom
not-
fan, right?
No.
Oh, I thought you had mushrooms on
I'm
pizza.
the opposite from Trinity. Don't you know
Oh, okay.
But it
All right.
tastes
Don't you
doesn't
know
taste like
this?
mushrooms. It
No.
tastes a little different, but it doesn't taste like mushrooms. And I just put my creamer in it. But I've been doing it for like a week. And for me, and I don't know if this is just a woman thing or not, but you have like incredible like bloating and inflammation all the time.
Mhm.
I've not had any of that. Like I think I told you yesterday, I'm like my digestive system is at peace. It's not mad. It's just doing its thing. And I've had energy, and it has a little bit of caffeine, but like half the amount of caffeine that coffee, so you don't get like the jitters and stuff. I don't know. For me, it's pretty awesome right now. So anyway, mushroom coffee.
Well, keep us posted on that.
I will.
Stay consistent with it so we can see what's going on with that.
I just had to try it because sometimes for me, coffee in the morning can
No, you
make
were
me
yeah.
not feel good for
Yeah.
whatever reason. So
Yeah, coffee doesn't do that. Well, it kind of did that to me. Yeah.
I take
Yeah.
that back.
take that back.
Yeah. So I think I'm doing the regular coffee in the morning, and then I'm gonna try mushroom coffee in the afternoon. I think that's the ticket.
That's the ticket.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you
So-
do that in the afternoon?
Oh, I can drink coffee before bed.
Oh yeah.
That's
I feel like caffeine's never affected me.
Some people it does. Some
Well, I could do decaf too. It's not the caffeine that I crave. It's just
it's just
something.
the taste.
Yeah, just like what it means.
Warmth
Like
and-
a
Like a
nice
hot
cup of
chocolate?
coffee. Yeah, it's just comforting and it's relaxing, and it's just a little break. So
it's like your tea.
yeah,
I know Trinity was saying she just craves the taste of some black coffee.
No,
that's
Trinity
true.
is Trinity's next level coffee addict.
She needs to calm down. That's all.
She loves coffee. Okay, so physical.
Yeah. What was I saying? Physical.
Here we're reading
Oh,
here.
physical. Well, I mean, obviously, I think my relationship, my spiritual, trumps everything. Then it's about health, and then it's about relationships, and then everything else is secondary. So, because if my spiritual is not right, nothing else matters. So, I mean, I could be alive or dead; it doesn't really matter. So, so that obviously trumps everything. And then the health, physical health, and then relationships are right there.
How do you measure healthy relationships?
I think you toxic relationships. I think you try to eliminate.
Well, right. So how do you measure healthy relationships, and then even harder, how do you walk away or step away from the toxic relationships that you have?
That's tough. I mean, we should do a podcast on. Do we do a
We
podcast?
did a podcast on relationships.
Should we go part 2, like relationships 2.0?
Well, I think we were.
We were going to do
Yeah.
that, right? So I think that's, yeah. I think you gotta, I think you have different relationships in different roles. So, for us as a unit, as a family unit, that's my priority. And then you have the kind of a second tier of relationships, which would be like my mom and my sisters and those closest to me. Um, and then business relationships, those are, who you surround yourself with is very important. If you're surrounding yourself with people that take you away from you achieving your goals or your purpose, I think those are technically unhealthy. So, so yeah, I think it just all has to align in what you think is healthy for you and what your goals are. And anything that's taking you away from that is probably, something that you need to think about removing.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we talk about financial health and business health, or if you don't own a business, work health, how are you? Is your work environment healthy? Are you, contributing to a healthy environment? All those things in work. What are some? I guess everybody has different measurements, but what are some exercises that you can think of that would help people determine whether they're running healthy or not?
Well, I think you got to ask questions. Like, let's say you're an employee and you're in a large company. You got to ask, what's your role? What are you doing the best that you can? Are you being the best that you can be? Go ask your boss or your supervisor and just say, hey, what does a good employee or an exceptional employee look like? And what do I need to do differently, or am I doing that? Start asking those questions and just being more aware of who you are and what you mean to the company. Another thing is just making sure that your company has, like a mission statement, mission, vision, values, beliefs are big things. And usually if your mission, vision, values, beliefs don't line up with that company, then it's probably an unhealthy employment. And it's not going to work out long term, because there's going to be a point where you're not going to agree with something. And that's going to take you away from, no matter how good you are as an employee, there's always going to be this underlying issue that your values and your beliefs don't match up. So it doesn't matter how good you are at your job, it's just not going to work. So, so that could be an example of healthy versus unhealthy. Does that help?
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, financially, I mean, we get especially from the two of you, where you're just now building your financial foundation, and I think that some of the steps that the two of you have made as far as building that foundation for financial health, I know it doesn't feel like it, but it's a big deal. Some of the things that the two of you have done as far as even thinking about the future and thinking that far ahead, that contributes to your financial health. Now, as far as building your finances, that's a different story. But I think financial health comes from, do you have healthy habits in your finances? Are you having conversations either with your significant other, or really analyzing what it is you're going to purchase, and is that the healthiest thing to do right now? So it's a lot of audits, I think, about, if I do this, that means this, and am I okay with that? And if the answer is yes, then by all means do that. I continue to do financial audits. I have places where, like, Amazon is a problem.
Interesting.
Amazon's a problem.
Is that why they come to our house every day, multiple times a day?
When they don't come, they think something's wrong. But for me, doing a lot of exercises and auditing in my life has helped me get a little bit of clarity in that area, because I now see it as, if I spend that money on this, that means this doesn't happen. And which one means more to me? So kind of having that checks and balances for me. And we were talking about this the other day, and it just dawned on me that, like, this year we are getting to check a huge bucket list item off of our list, which a lot of people aren't able to do in their lives. And for the last, I don't know how many years, 10 years, maybe longer, We've been talking about getting to a place where we can take our entire family on a trip. Just take them. An all-inclusive trip.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing that. And it's because we've had those checks and balances. Like, yeah, we could do this, but that means no. And you just have to prioritize. So I think that auditing not just your bank account, but auditing your priorities contribute to your financial health.
Yeah, I think it's just a healthy lifestyle is the way you need to look at it. You know, all the things that happen, you know, that's involved with the lifestyle. You need to do those mini audits, and probably monthly. And if you're in really bad shape, you might want to do it weekly.
Yeah.
Till you get
or
back on.
daily.
Yeah.
I know some people who wake up and they look at their bank account every single day and they are auditing everything that happened. Because we like to joke about it, but sometimes I've been like, let's have a challenge. Let's see if we can not spend money for a day. And it's actually really hard because you're like, oh, I had to go to the gas station, or oh, I had to whatever. Like, let's try to not spend $1 for one day.
Yeah,
And then you try to not spend money for a week. And it's hard, but I think you don't realize just the little. I know for me, I'm like, oh yeah, this, and oh I had that, and oh I did this thing, and I Venmo'd that person, and it just so you might even start with a daily audit of like, what the heck did I do today? Can't do that tomorrow. With your. But finances.
I mean, you could get it down to the ridiculous, like so not spending money no matter what. So like if you don't have any gas,
you walk.
You walk, or you ride your bike. Or you do something. Like, you take that extreme. I mean, if you're serious about not spending money, then you need to be serious about not spending money.
So I know, starting
It's maybe
small,
been,
like,
what, one day this year that we've not spent money?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So maybe we need to do that challenge again.
No, it's hard.
It is hard.
And bike here?
Well, hopefully we do it on a day we have gas. I don't want to bike here.
See Dad rollerblading down the street.
Heck yeah. Why not? Walk here.
Yeah.
I used to walk further for school. Oh, I'm really old.
That was such an old thing to say.
But I mean, even grocery shopping or eating out, like find something in the house that you can eat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's crackers or scraps or,
Just don't spend $1 for one day. And then once you make it through that, then maybe you're going to do that twice a week. Or
and then you create a habit. Yeah.
But it sounds so simple, but you really don't realize how much money you actually spend in a day.
Or waste.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That too.
So we're either wasting money or wasting time.
Unhealthy.
Very unhealthy. Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges that you guys have when it comes to being healthy in areas of your life?
Staying disciplined.
Discipline?
Yeah. Because it's like, it's not necessarily a motivation thing. It's like, it's a discipline thing. Like, you gotta do things. Like, for the gyms, for example. You gotta go to the gym even when you're not feeling like it. Even if you feel like crap, just go in there, do it light. That's an accomplishment. Or walk on the treadmill for 15 minutes. That's a win already.
Mm-hmm. 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 Same. Just the discipline.
Mm-hmm.
It's creating habits.
Yeah.
So do you ever feel like people around you are not supporting your discipline? Or is it more you?
Yeah, I think it's more you, especially on the physical part. And I think that's why that's the most important, because you got to take care of yourself before anything, before you take care of others.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever feel like, you start to do things and then people start to question what you're doing, and then you start to question what you're doing?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then that kind of throws you off track?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, yeah.
Why am I doing
I'm being different. And that's when people start to notice. And then people start to questioning you. Yeah, and then they're like, well, why are you even doing that? Like, what does it mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that means maybe you need to have a conversation with the people that start to questioning you, and say, hey, here's what I'm doing. Like, be proactive. Sit down with your family and say, hey, here's my plan. I'm going to start acting differently, and I just want to let you know that this is why I'm acting differently. So just cut it off up front. So that way it doesn't derail you when you start to get motivation and you start momentum, and then they don't have to question, what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Well, sometimes I feel like you need permission sometimes to do things. And I know that sounds silly, but I know for me, I put off my physical health and I put off self-care and I put off a lot of the things that are crucial to me right now for a long time, because I felt like if I wasn't, and moms will get this with me, but if I wasn't 100% focused on my kids 100% of the time, I was a bad mom. So all the things that...
Was that like in here, or was that...
Well, it was in here, and it was a result of the environment that we were in for a long period of time. A few years back, that environment and that culture made you feel like if these weren't your priorities and if these weren't your standards, then you were failing. And having gotten out of that space, I can look back and see that was happening, but at the time I didn't see all of that. And so for me, it was like, okay, well, if I go get a massage, or if I go get my nails done, or if I go to the gym, or if I do anything that's not 100% focused on my children, then I'm failing as a mom. And that was kind of my truth for a really long time, until it clicked on me, where I was just so tired and so stressed out and so overwhelmed that I wasn't being what I needed to be for the kids. And so when I took the time to say, hey, it's okay, because this over here is going to make me better, and if I'm better for them. And having that shift around that, I think a lot of moms and a lot of women get stuck in that space of like, you're just not allowed to, because this is what you're supposed to do. And I think that was a big aha for me. Because like you said, I mean, if you're no good to you, then you're no good to anybody else. And it's the saying of, put your mask on first before anybody else. I think that's something that we all need to just think about a little bit more as far as self-care. And it's not selfish. Self-care is not selfish.
Well, I think also, and along the lines of asking for permission, I think we don't need to do it in secret. Meaning, like, don't just start something and not share it. Because, like, when I wanted to eat better and I wanted to exercise and I didn't tell you, and then you'd fix, like, this massive meal,
meals.
And I'd be like, oh, I don't want to eat this, but I don't want to tell you that I want to eat this.
It would have been better if you told
But it would
me.
have been better if I said, hey, here's what I want to do. I have some goals to get in better shape, because this is what it means for me. I'm going to have more energy. I'm going to do more things, yada, yada, yada. I should have came to you first and said that, so that we're on the same page, instead of just saying, I'm just going to start working out of the blue and not eat stuff and not tell you. I mean, that's not fair. And that's not fair to your relationships if you're not telling them up front what your plans are.
Healthy communication.
Communication, yes. Healthy communication. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just want to throw that little tidbit out there.
Are you trying to... Okay, duly noted.
Yeah.
I got it.
So.
No more smoothies.
Yeah. No, I don't know what happened today. That smoothie
It tasted
needed
fine.
some work.
Oh.
So.
It tasted fine, and we have a witness that it tasted fine.
All right. Well, let's wrap up. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
No.
Good.
You good?
Good? Okay.
Cool.
All right. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.